you have really hit the elite of the sport. Do you believe that on September 26th, you and your brother will show that the Charlo twins are indeed the future of boxing?
Indeed, we will show it. We will get a chance to, let everyone in the world see, the great thing that me and my twin brother has done for the sport of boxing.
I'm curious, Maul, what is it like for you and your brother to be training in Texas, Houston, and we know how that pandemic has been raging there? Has it been hard getting sparring, things of that nature at all, Jamal?
I mean, not really, but, of course, the pandemic made things like separate, from working out every day to working when we can. So, I mean, I work out at home here, so it hasn't been too tough for me.
Jamel, you have told me a number of times that you felt like you were the best fighter at 154. Now you get a unification fight against Jason Rosario, a big puncher, on pay-per-view, your first time. What does this opportunity mean to you?
Well, this opportunity is finally here. It's finally presented itself, and I'm satisfied with putting me and my brother and giving us that day because of the fact that we put so much into the sport of boxing. Plus, what we're getting ready to do. So me and my brother just giving us that day and letting us be the moment of the fact that my brother got here. We put so much into what he was making, and he fought last. And now this will be his time when he fight first and I fight last. It's all, you guys in boxing are always switching it up. Thanks to Al Heyman for everything he's done in our careers. And, now is our time to be pay-per-view stars.
Talk to me about what should we expect when you get in the ring with Jason Rosario. I mean, the winner becomes the top dog at 154. He's a big puncher. What should we expect when you get in the ring with him on the 26th of September?
Well, I mean, you gotta expect. I've been boxing for so long, and it was always my dream to win multiple belts. So all you're gonna expect is me to get that W, to get that win dominantly, the way I do it. And I don't want to leave it up to the judges. I learned that in my past, and these are the things that I have to do. I have to either win very, very dominantly, or I have to win that knockout. I've delivered for knockouts, and at my weight, that's what I do, and it's unbelievable how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. So that's it.
Jamal, man, Sergey Derevyanchenko. We saw a tough fight with him and Jacobs. We saw him fight Triple G. A number of people thought he won that fight against Triple G. Jamal, do you see this as the toughest test that you faced at middleweight?
I mean, every fight is tough. I'm coming in prepared. Of course, this guy is he's rated, #1 in the world. So he's gonna take a job seriously. So am I.
Jamel, we'll wrap it up with this. What are fans going to say about the Charlo twins after the night of September 26th, getting the opportunity to see you and your brother headline the main event on that night? What will they be saying about the Charlo twins?
They are boxing, and they pound for pound.
Wow. Like it. Let's bring in Chris de Blasio again. Chris, I know there's members of the media probably have questions for the Charlo's as well. Let's give the media members an opportunity to ask them some questions.
Thank you, Brian. Same drill as before, guys. If you have a question, please press that raise hand button and give me a minute to sort through. We do have some in queue from moments ago. I'm going to start with, if I may, with Xavier Porter. Xavier, if you have a question, you should be able to unmute and ask your question. Okay, we're going to go to our next question.
Hello?
Oh, there you are, Xavier.
Oh, okay, you can hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, please.
Okay, first off, thank you very much for the time. How you doing, Mr. Custer? Good to see you again, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Charlo brothers, congratulations on this, this pay-per-view event, guys. Congratulations. I know it's a huge event for y'all. They have the training. Let us know exactly how excited both of y'all are for this event, to be, number one and number two per se to fight? Have y'all decided who's gonna go first?
Go ahead, Mark. Yeah, we haven't decided on who's gonna go first. We both just so excited to be headlining pay-per-view cards, separate times. So y'all keep it locked. Me and my twin brother got something big in store for you guys.
Mel, your thoughts?
Like I said, my brother went first before. I know I'm fighting for multiple belts at this current moment. My brother defending his title. I'm defending mine. Both got certain titles at different weight classes. And at the end of the day, what matters the most is us putting on that performance. Showtime giving us the platform, and we doing what we have to do.
Thanks, fellas, and good luck on the fight.
Thank you. That's well said, guys. Thank you, and thank you, Xavier. Good to hear from you. We're going to go to. I'm not sure where he went here. He disappeared. Marcos Villegas. Marcos, are you there with a question? I lost your hand. Perhaps you put it down. We'll try Reginald Woodson. Reginald, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hey, fellas, Mr. Custer kind of hit on with the sparring and the training, but you guys have access to, your own gyms and everything. It seems like that benefit you guys. With that, what's this downtime mean for your health going into your first you headlining? What's that meant to benefit you guys and coming in fully, 100%?
Well, being well rested is important. Our bodies are definitely at a very good stable position now. It's about getting better, working on things that we needed to work on. The downtime didn't do anything for me and my brother because we warriors at any time of the year. We don't expect boxing is a year-round sport, so we stay in shape. That's the name of the game.
I mean, we stay in shape, like my brother said. Like, we always training. We always ready. So it's just a time in our life where everyone had to go through the same thing, and I mean, it's a matter of time to get back. Showtime gets back to boxing, and we get back on the platform.
A last question, Jamel. I know you don't overlook anybody, but is it kind of a benefit to you that there's no, there's no surprise factor in Rosario, being that he went into Philadelphia in someone's backyard and took a belt? How does that impact your preparation?
That does nothing for me. Rosario is another fighter, another man with 2 arms, 2 legs, and a mind. I just got to go in there and do what I do. And I'm be destructive that day. And my job is to strip him for his titles, and that's what I'm supposed to do.
All right. Congratulations, fella. Great to see Showtime Boxing back.
All right. Thank you for that question. Marcos, I see you back there now. Marcos, go ahead.
Chris. Jamal, congratulations. I know this is something that you guys have wanted for a very, very long time, so congratulations on that. I wanted to ask, the last time you guys double-headed, I know it had an effect with the loss that was suffered. I wanted to see your thoughts on double-heading again and seeing, what you guys can learn from that last experience that you double-headed coming into the pay-per-view.
The loss and me and my brother being on the same cards had nothing to do with each other because of the fact that we fought growing up on the same cards with each other. That the loss was just bogus. The judges didn't see what they see, and that was it. But being on the same card gives us energy. It gives us a different type of fighting ethos. We want to be sharp. We want to be at our best. At our best. Normally fighting on each other cards, we'll be fighting minutes before each other. Stuff like that. So at the end of the day, yeah, we ready to fight.
And also, I wanted to ask, lately we've seen fights with no crowds. This is probably going to be the norm for the foreseeable future. What are your guys' thoughts on not being able to get the energy from the crowd and going into an empty arena and fighting?
We down. I'm down for it. Like, it is what it is. We can't do nothing about the pandemic. We can't do nothing about the sport of boxing. Taking a couple months off, but look, we back, and we're gonna enjoy it.
When you really fighting and zoning in, you don't see a crowd anyways.
Yeah, it's tunnel vision.
That's up to the fighter. If you focus on your fight, you're not worried about the crowd.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Marcos. We're going to go now to Keith Heidick, boxing scene. Keith.
My question is for Jamal. Jamal, what did you think of Derevianchenko's performance against Golovkin, and did you think that he won the fight?
Nah, he didn't win the fight, but I mean, he definitely made it a lot closer than a lot of people probably expected. I don't think people knew that Sergey's style. They haven't seen him as much as they've seen Golovkin. But like I said, the fight played out, and it was a lot closer than people expected it to be. But he didn't win the fight.
Jamal, what do you think it will say to people? You win this fight, like I'm sure you're expecting to win it. What do you think? What message does it send to them?
I mean, it lets them know that I'm ready for those big fights, the fights that everyone's asking me about. The Canelo, the GGG fights. This guy's been in there with some tough competition, but he's lost both times. So, it's still gonna put out numerous of questions for people to doubt me. But it's part of boxing. It's a step up fight for me, I guess, in the eyes of some people. But I'm ready to fight.
Danny Jacobs and Golovkin were able to put him down, but they couldn't put him out. What would it mean for you to knock him out?
It would definitely deliver a statement to the world of boxing, to let them know that the power is for real, and I can get in there with just about anybody.
Thanks, Jamal.
Okay, I think we have time for one more. We're going to go to Cornerman Boxing for the Charlo'S. And then just so you know, after that, I'm going to put all the hands down in the queue so that we can move on to the next phase and a couple other fighters we have in store. You can check back in to ask a question in the next phase. Cornerman Boxing, the floor is yours.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Well, first of all, thank you for your time. It's great seeing all you guys again. I was curious to know how you guys felt about fighting without fans, but you answered that. Now, do you guys have any predictions heading into these big fights? Starting with Jamal, how do you see this fight? The Sergey Derevyanchenko action-packed fight, the fans love it. How do you see this playing out?
I feel like we're gonna both meet in the middle of the ring, and we're gonna let our hands go. Let the best man win. My game plan will be to shut his game plan down, so it's boxing. So we'll be able to see what goes on the night of the fight.
Right. And for Jamal, big unification matchup. You wanted this for so long. How do you see this fight playing out?
I mean, if he could take the power, we could fight all 12. We could bang it. I could take a punch. He could take a punch. I don't know if he could take Charlo'S punch, but he got a chance to go 12. But I'm going for knockouts. I like to set it up beautifully. I like to deliver it in a timely fashion of 12 rounds, and that's it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you to the Charlo brothers. We're very excited to have you guys on the schedule and looking forward to seeing you very soon.
Appreciate it.
Brian, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Jamal, we certainly thank you as well. Look forward to seeing you both on September 26th. It's going to be one heck of a night. As we move on, we talked about Showtime Championship Boxing making our return on Saturday, August 1st. And when we return on August 1st, it is a world championship fight in the main event. Two unbeaten fighters fighting for the vacant WBO junior featherweight title. And joining us now, cool boy Stephen Fulton Jr. out of Philadelphia, taking on the unbeaten Angela Leo He's from Albuquerque, fighting out of Las Vegas. They join us now. Fellas, thanks so much for joining me. Looking forward to our return August 1st. Angelo, let's start with you. Out of Albuquerque, that's a town that has not seen a world champion since the late, great Johnny Tapia. I think it was 2002, last time he was world champion. What would it mean for you to become world champ representing Albuquerque?
It'd be the world. Johnny Tapia is a fighter I look up to. So is Daniel Romero. And to become world champion out of Albuquerque says a lot about my city. It says a lot about myself. So, I'm ready to take on that role to become a world champion and become Albuquerque champion.
Stephen, we know what Philadelphia is all about. I mean, it's a fighting city. It has always had world champions there. But if you're victorious August 1st, you would be the only person currently right now from Philly that's a world champion. What would that mean to you?
It means everything to me. I feel like I always hold Philly on my back no matter what. Rather it's 5 world champions, I'm gonna still have that same mindset. And I'm coming to fight. I just want to get it on already.
Angelo, Cool Boy Steph says he feasts off of undefeated fighters. He's already knocked off 7 of them. He did an interview and said that he's going to beat you easily. Your response?
At the end of the day, it's a fight. He could boast about his resume all he wants, but we're both top 5 in the world. We're both undefeated. So it doesn't really matter once we get in there. He has beat undefeated fighters, but if you look between the lines, he's been rocked, he's been dropped in all those fights, and he's not untouchable.
And what do you expect is going to happen August 1st?
I'm gonna get the victory, of course. Whether it goes to 12 rounds or whether it goes less than 12 rounds. I'm going in there to win that title.
Cool Boy, August 1st, 2 unbeatens. What should we expect when Showtime Championship Boxing returns?
Should expect a fight. I'm coming to fight. He said he's coming to fight. We're both coming to fight. Of course I've been down before. Of course I've been rocked before. And look where I'm at. I'm still standing. I'm still here. I'm number 1 in the division. I'm here to show you that.
Love it. Chris de Blasio, I know there are a number of people from the media who has got some questions for these young Lions looking to become world champions. I'll let you take it over so the media can ask questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Our first question is from DeMichael Cole from Philadelphia Inquirer. DeMichael?
Hey, Steve, good to see you again. For this next fight, have you looked at anything from Angelo yet? And if so, what are you excited about seeing, what you can do against him?
I'm just excited overall in every aspect of the way he fights, the way he, shows his skill that he supposedly had. I'm just excited to just be in the ring.
With this opportunity, obviously, it's already been stated you have a chance to be Philadelphia's only champion at this point. But I know there are a lot of other personal motivators for yourself. What are some of those things?
Personally, I just want to beat him, get past him, which I will do. I'm going to beat him, and then we'll talk about the future or whatever else I want to do. I'm just focused on this right now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, DeMichael. We have Steven Espinoza. If we can set him live, Richie. Steven would like to join in the conversation here, make a comment.
Yeah, what strikes me about this fight in this card isn't just the quality at the top of the card with two young emerging guys fighting for a world title. This August 1 card has 5 undefeated fighters and 1 fighter with the loss. And the 1 fighter with the loss is actually trying to avenge that in a rematch on this particular card. So this is a remarkably high quality competitive card, top to bottom. It's not just, Fulton and Leo, although that one's a fight fan's fight with no question. Each of these three fights is meaningful. It's among top tier guys, rising stars. These are the kinds of fights that sort out future champions from the guys who came close. So of all the things, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of big fights on this card. This August 1 card is sort of quietly might be the most consistent top to bottom I see for the potential wars, in those three fights on August 1st. And the fact that it's sort of the first fight back on Showtime, I think, is going to motivate all of these fighters.
That's great, Stephen. Thank you. Set the table. We're going to go to Sean Zittel. Sean, you unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Hey guys, awesome to see you two young guys getting it on while you're undefeated. Awesome to see. Steph, you're never shy. Could you tell us kind of explicitly why you will beat Angelo Leo? What's the difference between it? Is it your speed? Are you more creative with your punch variety? Why are you going to beat this guy?
I mean, I'm going to beat him because he hasn't been tested. Nothing. Nobody he fought has really brought any competition to him. I'm going to beat him because I've been tested. I'm going to beat him because I've took those punches that put me down and showed that I could get back up. I'm going to beat him because I can beat him. My skill is better than his. My speed is better than his. I'm just all the way around better fighter than him.
Angelo, you seem more like a reserved guy, but same kind of question. When you watch Stephen, and I'm sure you've had a chance to look at him, what is it that you got that tell us why you will beat him? What will separate you from him on fight night on the 1st?
I'm just more hungrier than him. I seen what he has. I seen that I could break him down. I see his will. He doesn't have the will like I do and the heart like I do. And on top of that, I also have a lot of skill. And on August 1st, he's gonna see why I'm undefeated.
Thanks, guys. Just can't wait to see the fight.
Okay, great. Thank you. Take a look here and see. We have a question from Carlos Toro. Carlos, you want to go ahead?
Hey, everybody, and thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. Brian, thanks so much for hosting everything. First question for Angelo. I remember a couple of fights ago that you've had. I remember it with Neil John Tabanow. And I remember you said right before that fight that you thought you were on the path to a world title shot in maybe 2-3 fights. Well, we are kind of within that 2-3 fight window. Do you feel that back then you were already ready to potentially be a world champion as far as your skill set is concerned? Do you feel like you needed a little bit more time? Do you think that the win that you had against Cesar Juarez, was that the fight that kind of made you think you're ready for the big time?
Definitely. I thought I was ready for a world title 2-3 years ago. So with this Cesar Juarez fight, it just solidified why I'm ready for a world title. I stopped him. I stopped Cesar Juarez in spectacular fashion. I dropped him in the 6th, and then I stopped him in the 11th. So that'll tell you right then and there that I'm in shape to go to 12, and I could still have my power, and I could drop you in the middle of the round. So I'm ready for anything, and I'm ready for that world title.
Question for Stephen. I mean, your last fight, you were fighting, at the Barclays Center in front of, I think it was like somewhere between like 10,000 people on that night. Now you're kind of moving on to this empty arena type of setting. You feel like there's maybe a mental adjustment that you'll have to make when you have to step into the ring. I know the Charlo'S have said previously on this conference that they think that it's really not going to be much of a factor because when you're in the zone, you don't really see a crowd. Is that kind of how you're approaching it as well?
For sure, I'm always looking to make those mental adjustments throughout the fight and anything surrounding the fight. But I look at this like sparring. And sparring is not that many people in the gym, and that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to have a wonderful time, have that same sparring feeling, that same sparring energy, but just a little bit more intense.
Thanks, Angela. Thanks, Stephen. Best of luck to both of you on August 1st. Looking forward to the fight.
Thanks as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Carlos. We're gonna take one more for Angelo Leo and Cool Boy Steph. That's gonna be from Kurt Emoff. Kurt, how are you? Go ahead.
Good. Can you hear me?
You can.
Okay, great. Listen, fellas, 2 undefeated fighters. You guys are kind of considered prospects. Not too long ago. Now you're fighting each other for a title, but not only that, PBC has very quietly acquired some really great fighters in this weight class. You guys have a chance to kind of rise to the top. I see there's Ray Vargas. There's obviously we got Brandon Figueroa, Daniel Roman. It's pretty loaded. So you guys looking forward to emerging victorious and taking on some really good opponents. Louis Neary. I didn't even mention Louis Neary. I mean, there's some great fights out there for you guys. Should you become victorious? Thought about it.
Why don't we start with you, Angelo? Your thoughts about the other fighters in the division and all the possibilities that lay ahead should you have success on all this one.
Yeah, the 122-pound division is a loaded division, packed with great talent, and it just makes for exciting fights. This is what boxing fans want, and this is what we're going to give them. Great fights, the best fighting the best, and in order to be the best, you got to fight the best. So, that's if you're not in boxing for that reason, then you should be asking yourself, what are you doing in this sport? Because that's what I'm in the sport for, to be the best, and to do that, I got to fight. The Ray Vargases, all the champions in that division.
And Steven, how about you?
Honestly, I just want to get past this guy right here, beat him. I'm not even worried about nobody else right now. But with that being said, all those guys, I feel like I'm the best in the division. Honestly, I am the best in the division. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm number one in this division. That's why I feel like I prove myself over and over and over and over and over, and I continue to do that. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. The guys like Louis Neary and Ray Vargas, they just lunched me. They food for me now. And that's just motivation to get past him so I can get those other belts. I want to be the first undisputed 122-pounder in the world. If there ever was one, I don't believe it was one. I want to be the first one. I want to make history. I'm here to make history. And I've always been fighting the best.
Okay.
All right, guys.
That's
Appreciate
great.
it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kurt, and
you.
thanks to the Prince asking questions. Angelo, Steven, thanks for your patience and joining us today. We will see you next week in Connecticut.
See y'all soon.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Brian Custer.
All right, let me tell you something. That's why I'm so excited about August 1st. When you hear Angelo Leo and Stephen Fulton Jr., you got to be excited about that fight card. And as Stephen Espinoza pointed out, I mean, you got basically 5 unbeaten fighters and 1 fighter, just 1 loss, looking to redeem himself in a rematch there. That fight card from top to bottom is going to be stacked when Showtime Championship Boxing makes its return August 1st. So we move now to August 15th. And as I pointed out earlier, the return of David Benavidez, the 2-time WBC super middleweight champion of the world. We're taking on Romer Angulo. David joins us now. Champ, good to see you once again. And hey, look, let me start with this because it seems like with you, adjust has been the key word, it seems like for you, because initially you had an opponent, he got injured. Then you had Angulo, supposed to fight in April. All of a sudden, pandemic hits, and when the pandemic hits the States, Seattle is really the first epicenter that this thing, when it came here, which is where in Washington State, where you train now. So what has it been like preparing for your return, considering that this virus first started there, that Seattle area, and was raging there, has been tough sparring and just trying to stay healthy?
First of all, I just want to, thank everybody for putting all this together. I'm very excited to come back. We've been out of the ring for like almost about a year. I think my last fight was in September. So I'm just excited to be back in the mix again, being back on the Showtime podcast or broadcast. It was a little difficult getting this camp started because, obviously Seattle was the epicenter of the pandemic.
But so the number one key we had to do was, just stay home, stay safe, train at the right times. Now that we got the fight in August 15th, we brought a couple guys from different cities, so everybody's been tested, everything has been good. I'm in my dad's gym, so we can train whenever we want. So we've been having a great training camp so far, and now it's just, getting to the date, getting there smooth, everything being perfect, and, just getting in the fight.
You're such an exciting fighter. I think that's probably why you have so many fans. You throw those hands, and you've always said, hey, I'm a guy who feeds off the crowd. So what do you expect, man? It's going to be different for you, champ, to be back in the ring and no fans in attendance.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate right now. But, I think what matters most is the safety and protection of the people. But, it's going to be the same thing, like the Charlo'S said, you kind of get tunnel vision when you're in the ring. But, my main goal right now is to give the fans at home the best possible fight I could possibly give them. Roman Angulo, he has a nice record. He has a lot of knockouts. I have a lot of knockouts, so it's going to be fireworks all night.
Yeah, so talk to us about what kind of fight should we expect, because he's the guy that comes forward. What do you expect on August 15th?
I'm expecting him to come forward. This is his second world title fight. So I think he's here to make a statement. I know he's taking this fight very serious, but I want these tough fights. I want these brawls. I want these barn burners. You know what I mean? I want to get the fans. I want to get the fans at home. What is it called? Like you're stuck to the TV. You can't move, man. That's what type of fight I want to give him. I feel like that's what type of fight it's gonna be. Like I said, it's gonna. You don't want to blink, because this fight is gonna end in a knockout.
I know there's a number of fans in Phoenix who, you were supposed to have a homecoming fight. Now you'll be fighting in Connecticut. What do you want to say to those people in Phoenix who were very excited, but I guess they're going to have to wait a while for you?
Yeah, it was very unfortunate that had to happen, but I just feel like, the time's going to come, just relax a little bit, maybe in my next year we can get a fight in Phoenix, a homecoming fight. But, right now, like I said, everybody's safety is what's most important right now. So we'll get there with time, but, right now we're just going to have to enjoy the fights from home.
And before I let the media have at you, champ, talk to me about Angulo. You've talked about Angulo, the type of fight you expect to be a knockout. What do you see as the future for David Benavidez at 168 after August 15th?
Well, my main goal is to get to Caleb, man. That's the fight I want the most. I feel like that's the fight the fans want the most. Since we're in the same promotion company, it's fairly easy. I was hoping to get that fight by the end of this year, but seeing that the pandemic, it kind of messed up a lot of things. So, I want to get, I'm not looking past Roman Angulo. He looks like a great fighter. He looks like a strong fighter. So I want to get that fight. I want to get past this fight, and then hopefully by the beginning of next year we can get to Caleb.
Okay, fantastic. That's great. Chris de Blasio, I know there's members of the media who've got a number of questions for the champ. Let's give them the opportunity.
Thank you, Brian, and hello, David. We're going to first start with Steven Espinoza. He'd like to add a comment here about this exciting card and David's fight.
Steven? Well, we're obviously thrilled to have David back on Showtime. He is, without question, one of the most exciting young fighters in boxing. Skilled, exciting, charismatic. Someone that that to the extent that you haven't seen him fight, I think you're in for a treat. But again, on this particular card, we can't just focus on the main event. But two really compelling co-features here. Speaking of someone who's exciting to watch, Rolando Romero, clearly fits that bill. If you haven't seen him, make sure to tune in. He is one of the most exciting young fighters as well. Younger than David, but fireworks. Very entertaining fighter. And then opening bout, two high-quality heavyweight will match up. In this case, two heavyweights who both suffered from and eventually recovered from COVID. Both Otto and the entire Kaufman family. Not just Travis, but his young child, his wife, his father. Thankfully, I think they've all recovered. But it's three intriguing fights there. headed by the return of David Benavidez at Showtime. This is another one top to bottom, a really high quality event.
Okay, great. Thank you, Stephen. Our first question is going to be from Gerardo Arencibia. Hope I pronounced that right. Gerardo, your line is open.
Hello. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, hi. Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say it's great to see that everybody's back doing something that resembles work. It's a good thing. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see you guys. David, congratulations on the upcoming fight. This is actually more of a question. Well, it's a question for the fighter, but if Stephen Espinosa wanted to join in and give his take on it, I don't know if you can. I'd like to hear his take. There's been a lot recently that's being made of fighters' purses. And some fighters saying, listen, they understand I guess the math behind it. Some fighters not so much. We've got promoters that are kind of pushing in the direction towards maybe paying fighters less. Is this something? And in fairness, I've only got to ask one PBC fighter, and this PBC fighter is Vito Milnecki Jr. told me no, that he doesn't expect to see any cut in his purse. Are you expecting this? Have you heard any of this? And do you think, if you haven't, do you think that this is that fighters are right to feel that this is unfair?
I mean, definitely. When somebody gets their pay gets cut, it's some people always think it's not fair, but my contract stayed the same. Everything in my deal has stayed the same with this fight, next fight. But if I have to take a pay cut, then I will take a pay cut. That's up to my managers and my promoters, and we could definitely come to an agreement. You know what I mean? But as of everything, I feel like my fights. I give the best fights I could possibly give. They're very exciting, for the fans, whether they're at home or they're live. So I feel like everything should stay the same with me. But if we have to come to an agreement, we could definitely come to an agreement.
Okay. The next question I want to ask you, recently on your social media, you posted an interesting picture. It caused a bit of an uproar, I feel. I don't know if I have to describe it to you, but it's David Benavidez sitting on a throne. And for brevity's sake, everybody else bowing down.
Well, that's definitely that's where the point I want to get in my boxing career, where everybody has to bow down to me. I feel like I'm the best fighter, 168 at super middleweight. I'm just not getting the fights that I want. You know what I mean? And of course, everybody's gonna get mad. All the fans are gonna get mad. This and that. But I didn't come to the weight division. I didn't come into boxing, just to say another person is better than me. Obviously, my mentality is that I'm always gonna be the best, even if I haven't got the fights yet. I'm always going to be the best because I train like a world champion. I am a world champion. I train like a world champion. That's always going to be my mentality. I don't care if somebody gets mad because they think that because I said I'm the best. That's how I'm always going to be. And if there's somebody mad and they want to prove me wrong, they come prove me wrong, and that's what it is.
Okay, and the last question I'll ask you. I realize that this is I'm excited to see Showtime back in the game, but I watched some boxing yesterday. There was a middleweight at 168 pounds, super middleweight, 168 pounds. Edgar Berlanga did his thing last night. What are your thoughts on that? And I'll be honest, I saw a few comments on Twitter, the Puerto Rican-Mexico rivalry, Benavidez, Berlanga, maybe in the future. What are your thoughts on Berlanga?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe, he did his thing, shout out to him. He had a great victory last night. But, has there ever been a fight at 168 of Puerto Rico versus Mexico? That's what I'm just thinking right now. So that could definitely be a great rivalry down the line. Just let him prove himself, and then I'll be, more than happy to fight him. When the time's right. I'm here to fight the best. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Gerardo. We're going to go now to Norm Fraunheim. Norm, you unmute yourself. Your line should be open.
Yeah, I got you, Chris. How you doing?
Great.
Hey, David, how are you?
Doing good. Yourself?
Good. You mentioned Phoenix. I know it's been a while since I can't even remember the last time you fought here. You could go back and tell me how important it is to reconnect with Phoenix fans. I know a lot have been made of that April fight. And when was it finally decided that you would not fight in Phoenix against Vancouver?
Well, I was supposed to fight. Was it April something? I don't really remember what it was, but I think it was about 4 weeks before that they made the decision to cancel the whole card. That's when the pandemic really hit. But I've been wanting to go back to Phoenix. I told myself last time I fight in Phoenix that when I went back, I was gonna go back a world champion. So it really meant a lot to me, going back. And unfortunately it didn't happen. But it's for the best. I wouldn't feel right if the fight would have happened and then there would have been, a lot of people getting affected and at my fight. So I feel like the time will come. The time will come soon enough. I just feel like everything needs to cool down a little bit more. But I'm definitely, I'm barely 23 years old, so I still definitely have a lot of time to, no matter how long this thing, this pandemic takes, I'll definitely be back fighting in front of my crowd and for my people. And I just want to tell everybody to relax. It'll happen soon.
Let me ask you about this. Over the last several weeks, you have been linked as a possibility to fight Canelo in September. How real was that?
I think everybody's possibility right now. I seen he gave Jason Quigley, an offer. I think everybody just sitting back and just watch, see what happened. I have the belt. I have a WBC belt at 168, so I'm pretty sure it's very real. But I never got an offer. I just heard.
Never got an offer. You just it was just okay. You're 23 now. You're still 168. You foresee yourself at light heavyweight here sometime soon?
Yeah, I think so. But as of right now, there's a lot of great fights at 168. Obviously, like there's Caleb Plant,
right?
There's Callum Smith, there's Canelo, there's Billy Joe Saunders. There's so much great fighters at 168, and there's a lot of great fights to be made. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be here until I make all those fights. I have a long time in this boxing game. I still have about 10, 13 years, in boxing left. So I don't have to move up too quick. I think as soon as I get all these fights and get all the belts I want to get at 168, then it's time to move up to 175. But as of I'm staying at super middleweight right now for a while.
All right. Well, looking forward to your fight, and say hello to your brother Jose.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Norm. Okay, we're going to go to Cameron Buford next. Cameron, you've been waiting patiently through all this. Appreciate your patience. You're open with David now.
Hey guys, thanks for making time for us, Brian, Chris, David. David, I got a question for you. You touched on it a little while ago with Seattle and the Renton area being kind of the pandemic epicenter of the pandemic. How have you been able to kind of keep your mind clear during this situation, and then just your mind healthy and your body obviously healthy enough to fight? What you been doing during this time?
I just been doing the same thing I always do, in camp, pandemic, no pandemic. I just stay home, come to the gym. My dad has his own gym, so every time I come train, there's nobody here. So, everything has been, pretty much the same. I just try not to go to the store at all anymore. Yeah, like I said, we just train, we run, go back home, and then start the same thing the next day. Everything kind of really stays the same.
Have you learned anything about yourself through this process, whether it be quarantine or just, I know you spent a lot of time with your brother and your dad already, but have you learned anything about yourself during this time?
Well, yeah, I just been trying to pick up a few father tips. I'm about to be a father on September 5th, so I'm very excited.
Congratulations.
And just getting a little bit more motivation. I was already extremely motivated as it is, and now that I have my own child coming in the world, I'm just at another level of motivated right now. I'm just, excited. I know everything I have to do right now, and just I'm just staying ready and just trying to get these fights, man. I feel like my fans have been waiting for me for a while. Like I said, I haven't fought in a year. I feel like I bring a lot of value to boxing, especially the PBC. My fights are always exciting, so I feel like fans have been waiting to see me back, and I'm very excited to come back.
Congratulations, sir. Look forward to seeing you in the ring.
Thank you.
No doubt they're exciting fights. Thank you, Cameron. I'm going to go one more question here from Ryan O'Hara. Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can, thank you.
Awesome. All right, David, Ryan O'Hara with the Ring Magazine here. Question for you, I'll make this quick. So, obviously you're trying to get the big fights, in your weight class, 168 pounds. How frustrating is that for you? And do you think that it's a matter of, guys not wanting to fight you, or do you think it's more from a business perspective? What's your honest take on that? And, I'd also like to get your thoughts on Caleb Plant. Do you think that would be a competitive fight as well?
Well, to be honest, it's not really that frustrating. It's just that getting back into it. I had just recently won my belt back in September, and I think I would have got these big fights by the end of the year if this pandemic wouldn't have hit. You know what I mean? I was supposed to fight already in April. I probably would have had two fights by now by around this time. So, I think this COVID, it just impacted everything. It was not me that it impacted. It impacted everybody in the world. So everybody has to move, at a slower pace, and then keeps moving. I feel like we're on track to get back on there. It was a little frustrating because I feel like I was already, on my way to getting these big fights, but obviously this slowed everything down. But it's probably for the best. So everybody could be safe. Everybody, the whole world needs to recover for this. I don't think we have to just talk about boxing. The whole world has to recover before we move forward. But yeah, man, like I said, hopefully by next year I can get a fight with Caleb Plant if everything goes good. It's definitely a fight I want. I feel like there's definitely a fight the fans want. Boxing, needs in the middleweight division. And, he's a great fighter. I'm a great fighter. And I feel like we just need to get this fight going. There's a lot of bad blood there, so I feel like it's a great fight for boxing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ryan, and thank you, David. Brian Custer, you want to take us home? I think it's time to wrap this up.
All right, champ. Thank you very much. And hey, congratulations on that baby boy. Looking forward to seeing little David Benavidez as well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate everything.
Absolutely. Certainly want to thank all of the fighters who joined us, Jamel and Jamal Charlo, Stephen Fulton, Angelo Leo, and of course the champ, David Benavidez as well. Folks, there you have it. Showtime Championship Boxing makes its return August 1st. In all, 9 live boxing telecasts that will take us all the way through the end of the year. We got you that one-of-a-kind pay-per-view event that comes your way in September the 26th, where you have the Charlo'S back-to-back fight, 3 fights, 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the evening, all for just one price. And of course, the Charlo'S both defending their titles in the main event unification fight for Jamel Charlo. We will find out who is the top dog at 154. Another pay-per-view fight as well with Gervonta Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. 8 in all, 8 world championship fights coming to you. A total of 17, as you heard Stephen Espinoza call them, 17 high-quality matchups. I call them bangers. That's what we're going to bring to you. That's what we're bringing to the sport. And again, reclaim the mantle as the preeminent network for the sport of boxing. It will be a great fourth quarter for Showtime Championship Boxing. We are proud to be coming back, and we cannot wait to see you August 1st. So for Chris de Blasio and for our president, Stephen Espinoza, I'm Brian Custer. We'll see you August 1st at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys. Well, hope you guys like that. Sorry for the technical difficulties at first, but we figured it out. Hope you guys are hyped about these fights. That Charlo fight is amazing. Both of them are really good. And for the pay-per-view to be, I think they said it was a split, not a split slate, but like one part of the day, another part of the day or something. That's going to be incredible. Tank versus Leo is going to be fun. Fulton versus Leo is good. Man, that's a great schedule. I hope you guys are hyped. I'm hyped. What's up, H Money? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I don't know. Some of you guys are in the comments saying Plant's gonna box circles around David Benavidez. I don't know about that. But that is the best fight to make at 168, I feel. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. I'll figure out the audio stuff better next time. Sorry about technical difficulties at first, but I figured it out. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. H Money, everybody. I appreciate you guys all. Yeah. I you know, I don't know about that one. I don't know about it just being, you know, a rap like that, you know. Let's see. My comments are a little off because I had to. Get off of I have like three screens going right now, so that's basically why my thing is all off. But H Money Man, appreciate you as always, bro. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you all so much. And yeah, on to the next one. I'll put out some of these clips that need, like, so you guys don't have to watch 55 minutes of this thing. But appreciate you guys all. Bringing you guys more content soon. We got some cool names coming to the Win by KO show, so I hope you guys are tuning into that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I got some big news coming. So, and follow us on like Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Even check out the posts on YouTube, because I put all the upcoming shows and things like that. So I'll get better at doing that. But thank you guys. Appreciate you guys all watching, and see you at the next one.